Okay, so in this video we're going to talk about give a little, ask a little. So imagine yourself, you've already got a contract. You've already come to an agreement with the seller, you've opened up title, and you've already started offering the property and the contract, and you found a buyer. And now you're getting close to the closing time frame. Let's say the closing is 2 weeks out. And the buyer comes to you and asks, hey, I actually need an extra 2 weeks to close this deal. I know we're scheduled to close in 2 weeks, but actually I need it to be 4 weeks out because I'm trying to get money from my IRA or my 401k, and I won't have it ready until then. This is a great opportunity for you to give a little and ask a little. The piece that you're going to be giving to the buyer is, okay, buyer, I will give you the extra 2 week time frame that you need so that we can close it in the time frame that will work for you. But I'm going to ask for a little back. And what I'm going to ask for is, instead of us selling it to you at 75, let's make it 76. And the reason you can tell them is a number of reasons. You had to redraft the contract, you're going to have to give money to the seller. There's a lot of aspects with the title company that you'll need to deal with to move the closing date, those type of things. This is a great opportunity to give the person you're talking to what they're asking for, but asking for something in return. This can happen with any party. It can happen with the buyer, it can happen with the seller, and it can happen at any point in the negotiation process, okay? If you use the example I just did, where you gave an extension on the closing date, but you asked for a $1,000 increase, so you make an extra $1,000 on your assignment fee, you can keep the whole $1,000, or depending on the situation, maybe give $500 of it to the seller and explain the situation and get that extension. But it's an opportunity for you to move the terms in the direction that you need to make it more favorable for you and to improve the negotiation on your behalf. But another example is, let's say you're talking to the seller and you're trying to come to terms and you got everything in agreement. However, the seller doesn't want a small earnest money amount. The earnest money amount that you wrote on the original contract was maybe $10 or $100, but they don't feel comfortable with that. They want to make sure that you can close on this deal, so they want $1,000 put up front for earnest money. Well, what you can do is say, you know what, I can give you this $1,000 for earnest money, but for me to be able to do that, I need a reduction in the price. I need you to reduce the price by $3,000. Or I need a longer closing date to make sure I have all the funds in place and make sure I can get the close. So basically, whenever somebody comes to you and is asking for a particular item, give them that item, but ask for something in return. And if you do that a little bit here, a little bit there, you'll notice a lot of arenas in which you can improve your fees, improve the time frames on your contracts to give you more time to work the deal, and make several other terms regarding the deals themselves more favorable for you. So utilize this. The other thing too, like I mentioned previously, is you can do this at the beginning of the negotiation. You can do it all the way up until closing. So if the seller says, hey, you know what, I know we were closing 2 weeks from now, but I need to close in a week. Okay, we can close in a week, but I'm going to need a reduction in price of $1,000, $2,000, whatever, so I can make it happen. I'm going to need to move funds around, that kind of thing. So all the way from the first conversation all the way to the closing table, there's an opportunity to move the ball in the direction that you need. So whenever someone asks you to give them something, then ask for something in return. It's a great technique. Utilize it, definitely.